So in this video, we are gonna get this bike from running like crap, which you saw earlier, to running awesome. How are we gonna do that? Well, I really don't know yet. What we got going on today is, I don't know, probably not fun. So this just got dropped off to me, kind of in a pinch. The dude asked me to look at it. So you guys all know Bear. Well, Bear knows this dude, and actually it's kind of funny, small world. The dude literally lives across the street, like literally across the street. So that's cool. He called me up like 2 days ago, asked me if I could take and look at his bike. It is not working correctly. Basically he said that the clutch is not disengaging, which is true. It is most certainly not disengaging at this present moment. Not really a big deal if you ask me. The bigger deal is everything else. It was put together by somebody. That is for sure. It was definitely put together by somebody. Somebody that maybe didn't know, what they were doing. Very strong possibility. So I told him, yeah, no problem. I could definitely look it over and stuff, but he's like, I got the bolts for this, the exhaust, there's no gasket. Now this is a fairly old school motor. It's an old lot, I guess. I don't know really how you want to say it. Old new stock or new old stock, something like that. Basically because this has got an original NT carb on it. This is exactly like Heather's first. This is also, in case you don't know, this is a 50cc. We're not doing any port work. We're not doing anything. All right, so the numbers are pretty far off. So what we got going on here, I really got to hustle and get this done. He's going to be out of work, I don't know, soon-ish. I mean, technically, if it took me a little longer to get it done, then it is what it is. I honestly don't think he'll care. So pretty much everything is just wrong. It's honestly what I have come to expect whenever I see something built by somebody else. The guy he got it from said he didn't need the front brakes. There's no front brakes. He had them in a box, so he gave them to me. I'm gonna put them back on because, like, we all know you need front brakes. I'll put new zip ties on everything. I'll make everything a little bit better, nicer, neater, cleaner, better. I don't know where to begin. If I should start with making it safe and then work backwards to having it move, or make it move, see what it does, and then take it from there. I think I'm gonna work on safety first. I'm giving it a once over to go over the bike, and I just wanted to show you something. Now, I just started cleaning it up. I got the front brakes on, nice, and I'm just working my way back and down, and I took the carb off, go through it, make sure it's clean and all that jazz. It's nice and clean. I just cleaned up the port for the exhaust. Still gotta do the wiring and then re-zip tie everything, and I got some, funky colors to go with the funky color bike. Now, first thing I noticed is the way the air filter was on. When he had the air filter on, you can even see it. So look at it. It's only squished on this side. This is dead center of the motor, right? So this should fit like this, but it's not. It was fitting like this, which means the motor's twisted. Sitting here looking at it, the motor is definitely sticking way too far out. So I just gave it one of those, and I was like, it moves very easily. So then I looked, is this loose or is it bent? And then I looked here. It's literally on backwards. Why is it on backwards? Good question. Because when he went to go tighten it, the bolts were too long. Why are the bolts too long, you might ask? Because there's a whole lot of studs sticking out. What do you not see in there? That's right, missing the bracket. So let me go get a bracket, take this off, and go from there. I adjusted the clutch. The clutch is now working. Now it's only a 50cc, but also you can see it's hitting there. But it shouldn't once I get the bracket in the back. But boggles my mind how some people get away with building stuff like this. Finally, we're going back together. So as you can see, this is what needs to be in there. Before and after. Before and after. If you don't have this, the motor will move. You can see now, motor solid. I'm not holding a bike, so obviously it's gonna wiggle it, but before I could literally twist it by just doing this number, and now it's not doing that. We now have a motor that is center and attached properly. Now we're going to reassemble the clutch, and then we're gonna start on the chain after we align the tire, because, yeah, that's a problem. We are doing pretty good. Like, I know it wasn't the dude that I'm dealing with. I know he wasn't the one who put this together. There's so many how-tos online. So many people in Facebook groups that do this stuff and have fun, like me and my group, which Join the group. It's free. There's a link in the description. Thank you. There's also a group chat. You can join that. Link is also in the description. We'd love to see you there. Oh, we are back at it. You are now on the chest mount. I know, exciting. We are gonna find out why it is acting like this. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but I used yellow. I should have used a blue one there, but I used the yellow by this, and I used the blue here, so zip ties really blend in nice. I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun because of the colors of this bike, because it's, you know, a nice bike. So there's gotta be a reason why it is leaking. Can you guys see good? I don't know, I'm hoping you guys can. It's a new headlamp I got. It is super bright. Oh, I'm so tired, guys. We just walked, I don't know if you guys remember from my videos, but where the baseball field is in South Boundbrook. Well, that is extremely far, and we just walked all the way there. The float is floating. It's not the issue. The issue is here for sure. I don't know if you guys can see that. Float gets pushed up, it actually hits that, so I think the float is not adjusted right. We need to make the gap between that slightly bigger. This is a very fine adjustment, guys, so do this with care. As I just yank on it. I don't know if you guys can see, but float down, float up. Okay, we are fixed. It is test fire time, guys. Okay, I don't know if this carb is tuned or not. We shall find that out the hard way, I guess. Fuel is on. No leaks. Okay, let's take it for a spin, guys. All right, here we go. We're just gonna go all the way. That's why I say it's so hit or miss when you buy one of these kits. You could get one that's great right out of the box, or you can get one that's probably something like this, and before you ever put it on the bike, you should really just go through it completely and give it 100% once over, which I can guarantee you did not happen to this one. Dude up. All right, guys, well, you see it. She's fixed up. She's good to go. He's on his way over. But either way, as always, I appreciate you watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and that little bell notification. Perfect timing, train. She fought me a little bit. She is brand new, right? Now, what are we doing? Oh, we got a pretty interesting day planned already. So as you can see, we have Benny. Benny, say hello.
Hello.
Hi YouTube, my name's Benny. Basically what's happening is we are working on this bike. What is this bike? Well, this was in the video the other day, guys. If you guys ain't gonna pay attention to what I'm doing, then I don't even know why you bother. So this bike was, you know, for all intents and purposes, running great. If it was running great, Johnny, then why is it back? Well, that's very good, and I appreciate the intuition on paying attention. But the reason it is back is right here. So, fella was riding it, and a bike is doing one of these jobbers. Benny, look how bad this is. So this thing is pretty wobbly. It's just a really cheap bike, so it is what it is. So we are going to do our best to try to true it. The only thing on the bike I didn't touch was the rear wheel and the rag joint and all that. The rag joint is missing 2 bolts, and I'm thinking that the rest of the rag joint is not as tight as it should be, but I have another rim we can put on it. This is a 700C. I do believe I have another set of 700Cs over there. So we might just go that route because, you know, I don't want to be working on this bike all the time. So I just want to get it so he can ride it to work and be done. All right, so I just wanted to show you really quick on what is going on so you can see. So this is the stock wheel. As you can see, I took off the sprocket, and as you can also see, this is part of what the problem is. He has 6 broken spokes. So the sprocket was missing 2 bolts, and I think that is part of the reason of what caused all of this to happen. Second, I don't know if you guys will be able to pick it up, but there is a flat spot. Now watch as I spin this. See the steady dip? So it's got a bad dip. This is a 700C bike. I have a 700C wheel. Funny enough, this is the actual wheel that I got on Mercury when I first found Mercury sitting with a flat tire, free for the taking way back when. So I have a couple options here. I can either unspoke this and put it on this hub, which, let's face facts, is not what I want to do. Or what I'm gonna probably do, or what I am gonna do, I'm gonna take the 32 tooth off because 50cc is never gonna turn that. And I'm gonna take the freewheel off. I'm gonna take out all the bearings and the axles and all that jazz. I need the shorter axle because this is a much more narrow axle. So I'm gonna take all this out of here and transfer it to that hub and the freewheel and put it on there, hopefully. Okay, so I had to basically square the wheel up. So this hole is centered on the bike. The tread is basically centered with that. If I ran this the way it was, the hub would have been way farther over. The reason was, as you look here, see how I have 2 small nuts for jam nuts? Okay, so one of them, the one that's on the outside actually, the very thin one, was right here, where this big one is. So what I did is I then took it off and I put a big one here and put the original one there and the small one over there, and what that did is it basically took the wheel from here and put it over here, and we were pretty much lined up. The reason that's like that is the actual hub that the bearing rides in. So you see where the hub is? On that wheel, see where this silver line is? The hub starts there, so the hub rides right around where the spokes are. On this one, the hub's farther out, so you have about the thickness of that thick jam nut to deal with. That's what I had to make up, so that's what we did. We made it up, so it's good.
Nope.
I gotta take that off. I gotta put the other tire on it, even though I don't think it really matters, but I think I should put the other tire on. Then we'll take it for a spin. All right, guys, she's all done. He's coming over to pick it up now. I ended up having to take the one thin washer from, or jam nut from this side and moving it to this side because I was too close here and I would have ended up scuffing. So after last time I talked to you, that's what I did. Everything is lined up. We're good to go. Chain tension's on. Clutch is good. Motor still needs to be, I think he only rode it like once. Motor still needs to be broken in. It still seems lean, but I think that has a lot to do with the actual being not broken in yet. So all in all, we're good. Oh, you're good, bud. Come on in. This is Rich. This is his bike. Lives across the street, so that's really awesome. Make a new friend in the motorized bike. So it's good to go. As always, guys, I just appreciate you watching. If you could, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, and thank you for tuning in to Johnny's Motorized Bicycles. As always, glad you're here. So you saw that I was working on that blue bike with the yellow tire and did a whole bunch of stuff to make it a good bicycle and get it running properly, which is harder than you would have thought. So, as you can see, said bicycle is back. So let's go talk about it. It is definitely running lean, but I think the big problem with it, because it's running lean, is mostly because it's super congested. There's no port work. It's just all the way around really clogged up and low on power. And I think if we get it to open up a little and breathe, and tell us what it's thinking, we can get into those feelings and we can start feeling some power. Now, it does run, and it runs horribly. I noticed this from the very first moment I started it. It was running lean. I have the needle on the fattest setting possible, and it is still running lean. It's got a stock carb, it's a 50cc, it should run how it is. If it was just opened up and it would breathe a little better, it would 100% not be lean. So that's what we're gonna do. Easy peasy. One motor off a bike. Take it in and fix it. Oh, why do I do this to myself? No problem, I say. I can fix it for you easy, I say. You'll enjoy it, I said. Don't worry about it. I got you, I said. Every time I do it to myself. And I don't know why. Alright, so it's pretty clear on what exactly is going on here with this. So in a 50, there's no squish band, as you remember it from my video. So this shape is the exact size of the bore. And as you can see, the head goes directly into that shape of the bore. So the piston in essence would go straight up and eventually hit there. But in this particular one, as you can see, there is quite a bit of space here to begin with. So to lessen that, we're gonna get rid of the base gasket. That alone will raise the compression up. All right, so the numbers are pretty far off. So for the transfers, without the gasket, we're at 100. And the exhaust out the gasket, we're at 132. So for the intake, we're at 124. So we are 24 degrees more than the transfers, which in theory is great. And the exhaust, we're a really low exhaust, so I'd like to bring that up 16 degrees of blowdown. Isn't horrible, but isn't great. So we're gonna play around a little bit. We are obviously gonna raise the exhaust. We're gonna lower the intake. To be honest with you, like I said, the transfer to intake ratio is pretty great. So as it sits, we got 24 more degrees of duration on the intake than we do the transfer. So honestly, the only thing I really need to work on here is the exhaust with the blowdown and raising the compression, which is going to happen from me removing the base gasket, which I already did. So we're good there in that aspect. The other things that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to drill holes for the piston. There is no oiling holes in the piston. The next thing I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to ramp the piston. Since this is going to be a daily, I don't want to mess with the cylinder as much as possible, so I think I'm going to ramp the piston ever so slightly because there's not a lot of room to play with. So I'm going to ramp the piston on the transfer side. I'm going to skirt the piston for the intake, and I am going to raise the exhaust port. And with those three things going on, I think we're going to get our exhaust duration. I mean, it's a big gap here, so I would like to raise it up to, let's say, 150 degrees. We're not looking for crazy peak performance out of this. We just want it to breathe better. I'd like to get the duration of the transfers up to about 112-ish. And the intake, I mean, it's not horrible, but if we can get that to a 130, it wouldn't be bad either. So let's see where we come out on top with all this. I ain't recorded in a little bit because I just got so sidetracked with trying to get this done, because I was kind of getting frantic about it, to be honest with you, because I need to get this back to the guy. And well, I wasn't getting I just trying to rush, I guess I should say, because I just want to get it back to the guy, get it done with, and move on. Well, this has always had an odd problem. It was lean even with the carburetor like it was, and when I did the measurements, yeah, the measurements are not the greatest, but as a whole the cylinder looked great. I mean, it's a really good looking cylinder. And like I say, wow, bro, all of my freaking parts and the grease. Come on, bro. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Guess who's here? Give you one guess. So, everything seemed great. It's a really pretty looking cylinder, and I was grinding away on the exhaust. Now, mind you, when I got done, I mean, you could see I didn't really even go that heavy yet. But if you look, it's got an odd little, if you can see right here, it's got a pass through, so it's got a really, can you see that? Oh, okay, see that there? It's got a pass through, so it's a really shallow port, which was fine, and I'm keeping mind of that and all. But when it's all said and done, it doesn't make a difference. Because, why doesn't it make a difference? Buddy, because there's a hole in it. So there, I saw, okay, so now you can see that hole right here? See that hole I'm poking at? Okay, so there was a dot right there, and I'm trying to grind it away. I'm like, all right, let me just get it smooth, get it smooth, get it smooth, get it, and there's continues to be a dot, 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 dot. And when you look up in here, you can see all the buildup. Now, mind you, he only rode this thing 2-3 times. There's a lot of buildup, right? And it was kind of loud for a 50cc, but none that seemed exceptionally crazy. I checked at least twice for an exhaust gasket because I'm thinking, hey, there's gotta be an exhaust gasket. There was not, but there was. So I'm grinding, and all of a sudden, then it gets to be what you see there, and I'm like, that's what it is. There was a pinhole in the casting this whole freaking time, and now we figured it out. You know, it is what it is. I'm not stressing it. So his cylinder is trash. I mean, what can you do? The cylinder is completely trash. That just means we now don't have a cylinder for this guy's motor, which kind of stinks because this is not my motor. If you guys remember, this is somebody else's motor that I'm working on. So, new problem. How did we give this guy a bike back when we said we're just gonna make it better, and now we did nothing but ruin it? So I had this cylinder sitting in my inventory, sure. So I took it, I opened the exhaust up. I actually ramped the piston on the transfers because I wanted to get the transfers up a little. Now it's a very thin ledge because of the way 50s are, so I didn't want to go too far. I also skirted the piston on this side, which is the wrong side. Yes, I screwed up. But I also skirted this side. Now it will leak. No, it won't. This does not come above the bottom of the port, so I lucked out. I caught it in time. The next thing is the intake. I only cleaned up the intake. Now, also on the transfers, I'm not sure if you could see it in there or not, but I did clean up this area here just a little bit. It's just because in the casting there's a little lip, and that lip is now gone, so now it's just a free flow in there. I didn't raise the transfers at all. I barely raised the exhaust, but the big thing here is what we're gonna do is these numbers. The transfers, 116 degrees of duration. That's really nice. The intake, 136 degrees, also really nice. The exhaust, 164 degrees of duration. That is awesome sauce. Now, if we could subtract 98 from the 122 equals 24 degrees. Okay, let's get it together. Moto seal it up. Also, for the record, because I need to tell you, I drilled holes for oiling holes. It didn't have any holes. 50cc's are very common not to have any oiling holes. These holes look...
Daddy's back! Hey! Hey, Dad!
Lot different. Smoking a little, but it could actually maybe be leaned out one, but I got on the fattest setting possible.